Hi, I'm so glad to see you. I've just been wondering and just thinking, you know, do you like me wonder if what you do matters, if you matter? I recently watched a video from Beth Moore, and she talked about longings, and I have a lot to say about what she said about it and what came to me and what rose up in me from her video. But she was talking about longings and longings that we have. And Miss Beth said, a longing is long. If it's not long, it's not a longing. It's just built in there. And then, she talked about how we all have longings and they are deep. And one of my longings that I really wanted to know the answer to was, do I matter? I want to matter. That's one of my longings is, do I matter? And God showed me that what I do does matter. And I read the book, The Practice of the Presence of God. See, The Practice of the Presence of God. It is what do you call it? It's a, I want to say compilation, but I don't know if that's the right word. It's Brother Lawrence's prayers and his writings, and someone has put them all together in one book. And okay, letters and conversations of a humble servant who walked consistently in the presence of God. And what Brother Lawrence came to understand, and we all need teachers, and whether they're from a book from long ago, or whether they're here today like Miss Beth or Sister Ann or Mama Joyce, if whoever God speaks to you, it's okay. God uses different people in different people's lives because we're all unique, and we're not going to hear the same thing through the same person. We're all not going to get, some of us just need a different teacher than someone else. And Brother Lawrence really put something into perspective for me. One of the things that he said that had just stuck out of all these pages that he wrote was, he can be just as much in tune to God washing pots and pans in the kitchen, because he was in the kitchen. He was a monk. For those of you who don't know who Brother Lawrence was, he was a monk, I believe. Anyway, holy man of God. He was a monk, given his his whole dedicated life to the Lord, and he had kitchen duty. I don't even know if he was the cook, but I know he washed the pots and pans. And he said, he could be in tune with God just the same magnitude as he was washing pots and pans for all those men, as he was, as a thankless job as that is, as he was spending hours and hours in prayer and study. That is practicing the presence of God. That's what his whole life's work was to get out. That's what Brother Lawrence wanted to spread, is practicing the presence of God. Whether you're washing pots and pans, changing dirty diapers, whether you're washing windows, whether you're cleaning a restroom at a Walmart, whatever, wherever you are, you can practice the presence of God. You can be, because God's always present. He's omnipresent. He's everywhere all the time. And if you're a believer of Jesus, if you're a Jesus follower, you're a Christ follower, you have him in your heart, he is everywhere you are. You take him everywhere you go. So you can always talk to him. You're always in his presence. Live life with him. He's a blast. He's so much fun. And some of the things that will happen will amaze you and will tickle you. But getting back to what Miss Beth said about longings, what Sister Beth said about longings is, if they are unfulfilled, or if we put a lid on them and we squish them down and we don't think about them, and we want to ignore that they're there, the color and the joy of our life just gets sucked right on out. And she's so right. I just listened to it a couple of days ago and just watched her video on longings. And one longing that I said at the beginning of the video, was, do I matter? And I made a list of all the longings that I had, and one that really stuck out was, do I matter? And we're not always shown that we matter in the way that we want to be shown. But if we stop and take a pause for a moment and listen to what people say to us, we'll find that we matter. I don't know why I matter to the associates at Walmart, but when I walk in the door and I'm greeted by 4 or 5 people who are saying, oh, Sherry, we're so glad you're here. It's like, yeah, honey, you matter. You at least matter to those people. And I know I matter to my children, and I know I matter to my grandchildren, my Nana babies, as I call them. But that one person that you want to be shown that you matter in that special way, they may not be capable of giving that to you. So you have to look, and really look, not just at that one person. I know we matter to God, and I know we matter to Jesus, but like I told my daughter, I think it was just yesterday, we want somebody with skin on them to show us that we matter. And it's up to us to have ears to hear and eyes to perceive whether or not we matter or what's going on around us. So be in tune a little bit more to what people say to you. And to that precious soul out there who doesn't have someone who shows you that you matter, email me at notesfornana.com. I'd love to hear from you, because you matter to me, because you matter to God. And I have skin on, so there you are. We'll talk to y'all later. I love you all, but He loves you more. Have a blessed day.